welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today, it's our first day of school. That's right, folks. Today is our first day of school, so I will be taking you all along for a day in the life as we go through and I show you kind of how we do our school days. Now, every day during the week is a little bit different, and I covered this really thoroughly in a recent video where I talked all about what curriculum we use and I went over our weekly schedule. So I will link to that video in the description box below if you are interested in watching that. Okay, but back to today. All right, so I slept in this morning to start with. And by sleep in, I mean like 8 o'clock, but I had every intention of waking up at around 6 a.m., which is when I have been waking up a little bit more normally lately with baby Firefly. However, baby Firefly kept me up a lot more last night and a lot more often. But that's okay. With my sleep being a lot more interrupted, the hours of sleep that I do get are more important than ever. And that leads me to today's sponsor, Blissy. So before we get too far into our school day, I want to give a big thank you to Blissy for sponsoring today's video. Blissy offers silk pillowcases that give you better hair, better skin, and better sleep. This is a completely natural and hypoallergenic silk pillowcase designed by a team of experts that does wonders for your overall health while you sleep. This pillowcase here is one of my secrets to a good night's sleep. Let me explain more. It is so comfortable and soft. It also helps me to have a cooler night's sleep because the fabric stays cool. Silk by nature has a low conductivity and acts as a thermal regulator. As someone who sleeps hot, this has helped my comfort at night increase greatly, which leaves me to feeling more refreshed in the mornings. Silk's protein-based fiber is moisture wicking and even helps prevent night sweats. Have I piqued your interest? Do you want to know more? Silk's hypoallergenic and antibacterial properties naturally repel allergens. And the pillowcase will improve your hair by reducing breakage of up to 43% while you sleep due to its smooth surface. Blissy also makes the perfect gift for any occasion. Blissy makes the most memorable gift because people use it every night and think of you. So go to blissy.com/fireflies or just click on the link that I have put in the description box or the pinned comment below, and you will get an additional 30% off your order and free shipping worldwide. Get your energy back, sleep better, and even improve your skin and hair with Blissy silk pillowcases. That's blissy.com/fireflies, or just click on the link below and your 30% will be automatically applied at checkout. And now back to me. All right, so my kids are all awake right now. The last one just came in, so I'm gonna get these guys ready for their day, get them some breakfast, and we will get started on school. All right, I will take you along for it, so let's get this day started. Since I wasn't making any sort of a special breakfast like I had wanted to this morning, I decided to just make breakfast a little extra special by including hot chocolate on the menu. So my oldest made for himself, and then I made for the next 2. Soon we were ready to start our lessons, and we started with our new morning time routine that I told you guys about in the curriculum picks video. All right, so starting out there with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then going into looking at the weather for the day and writing out the date. Then I moved on to introducing them to the Star-Spangled Banner, which I sang rather poorly for their entertainment. And then it was moving on to recitation/poetry memorization, which we worked on for a few minutes before moving on to the weekly Torah portion, or as we call it, the Parsha. The kids were using watercolor paint on some coloring sheets that I printed off that corresponded with this week's Parsha while I read a summary of the Parsha to them. Okay, so far so good this morning. We're actually pretty much staying on track and getting things done. Baby Firefly has finally fallen asleep, albeit on me instead of in his bed, but that's okay. He is asleep and not being fussy, so I am able to get things done. Baby wearing for the win. Okay, so the kids are finishing up painting their pictures. They're not gonna be done here for a little bit, but we've already discussed the Parsha for this week. So I'm just gonna move on to poetry, which is our next subject, and read them some Lewis Carroll poetry while they're continuing to work on these paintings. Actually, scratch that. I remembered that I wanted to add in reading a chapter of a novel during our morning time, and I did not do that this morning. So I'm gonna read a chapter from Little House on the Prairie right now while they're finishing their paintings, and then we'll read from our poetry book. In those 3 days, the norther had howled and screeched across the prairie till it blew itself out. Now the sun was warm and the wind was mild, but there was a feeling of autumn in the air. So today's poem actually is How Doth the Little Crocodile, the one you guys are working to memorize. All right, are you ready? How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale. How cheerfully he seems to grin and neatly spread his claws, and welcomes little fishies in with gently smiling jaws.
I bet he does them. No, he eats them.
Okay, so they're almost done. 2 out of 3 are still working on their paintings, but they're wrapping those up. And so we're gonna start cleaning up from painting and then move on to science, which will be our last group lesson here for this morning. It is always so much fun to start a new unit in school, and this bird unit in particular, we were all so stoked about because we all love birds. There's Bella down there who joined in our school today as well. All right, so we just got to work on the bird unit. It started with a short video, and then we read about what makes a bird before moving on to talking about some different kinds of birds from around the world, and then learning about animal classification and how birds are classified scientifically. My kids always love a hands-on project, and anything with a glue stick is always a win with them.
Can I keep this?
No, that's gonna go on our science wall because that's one of our vocabulary words.
Good. But we do get to keep our papers?
Yes, you can keep your Birds of the World maps, and you get to keep your classification sheets.
Thanks a bunch.
You're welcome. Okay, so now we just have composer study left, which I almost forgot about. Thank you to little dude here for reminding us. And then it's chores. Okay, so our composer is Mendelssohn. Can you hand me the computer and I'll bring up some music by Mendelssohn? And what I think we'll do is we'll listen to Mendelssohn while we do our chores. Okay, so the morning is done. It is almost lunchtime, but since they all had a late breakfast, they're really not that hungry right now. So what I'm gonna do while they're cleaning the living room is just run the vacuum around the kitchen and the dining room, straighten up the kitchen just a tad, and then get their lunch together, and then we'll move on to this afternoon. After I finished with the vacuuming, I started hanging up their pictures that they had painted earlier since they were pretty much dried. I love hanging them up here where the kids can see their work during the week, and it helps jog their memory of what the Parsha is about when we discuss it on Shabbat. Once that was finished, I started putting lunch together, which was thankfully some leftovers from Shabbat. We had this really delicious taco meat, so I just heated up some tortillas, sliced up an apple, and put some candies on the trays for the kids, and that was lunch. Everybody loved the meal. We all had seconds, and I got to clear some leftovers out of the fridge. So absolutely a win all the way around. After lunch, I went in to finish cleaning up from the morning lessons, and part of that included hanging up our vocabulary words and our bird fact sheets up on our science wall, aka the door to my study, so that we can look at these and reference them throughout the rest of the time we spend on this unit. Okay, it is the afternoon now. We have finished with lunch, and yes, I am bouncing and patting a small fussy child, and that is okay. All right, so we are about to get ready here on our afternoon. Oh, but because he's fussy, we're probably going to put off just a little bit till we get started, or switch up the order of things that we would normally do. So normally we would start with piano practice and math, which, but we won't. All right, so let's go. We'll figure out what order we're doing, and I don't know, let's just go make it happen. After a little bit, baby Firefly had calmed down enough that I was able to come in and start on some piano with the kids. So starting with my daughter, she started on her piano, and while she was working on that, I went in with my son to get him started on his handwriting. He's starting cursive this year, so I did want to spend a little one-on-one time with him getting started on that before anybody else came in. And then when my daughter finished with her piano practice, she came in and got started on her handwriting as well. By the time we were finished with handwriting, baby Firefly had fallen asleep on me, but that's okay. So we went and got started on our math. So both my older two got out their math stuff, and my oldest got started while my daughter waited very patiently for me to get him started, and then I was able to get her started while he worked on his lesson assignment and review. Little dude was waiting so patiently this whole time to get started on his math assignment, and even though he's the easiest to work with, working with all three of them at once is a little bit too much for me, so I really needed the older two to finish up before I could work with him. So he, like I said, waited very patiently, and then he was able to get started on his math as well. Meanwhile, my oldest was finishing up on his schoolwork by knocking out his piano practice. All right, so it's just a little bit after 2 o'clock right now, and we are done with everything for school today, with the exception of our reading lesson, which we'll be getting started on here in a little bit. I'm just gonna see if I can't get him to lie down, baby Firefly to lie down and sleep not on me for the reading lesson, so that I can have like more attention focused on that. But we finished all of our math. Everybody did great, and my oldest is totally done with school because he's already done his independent reading. So I'm really happy with how the day has gone. So yeah, just the reading lesson left, and then it's playtime until dinner. So they've actually got several hours this afternoon to play. And that also gives me several hours this afternoon to relax, to work, to get other things done around the house that I want to get done, just kind of whatever. So that is where we're at right now, and I'll check back with you guys once we start on that reading lesson. So this was our first time to use this program, so I wasn't totally sure what to expect, but I will say by the time we finished with this first lesson, I was in love. This program is going to be amazing, and I'm super, super stoked to see where it takes my kids this year with their reading. So instead of flashcards, I used this beautiful book with the alphabet in it, and we found a firefly, and it just kind of made my day, so I'm showing you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, and with that we are done. We finished our reading lesson. It took us about 15 minutes. It probably didn't even need to take that long. It was more because I was trying to figure out the program, and I think this is something that I'm gonna have to review the night before or the morning of, just so that it goes a little bit smoother for us next time. But anyways, it is 3 o'clock and we're done with school for the day, and that was when we didn't start until after 10 o'clock, and took a big break in the middle for chores and lunch, and then I had another little break while I was trying to get the baby to go to sleep, which he did. So yeah, that was our day. We're totally done with the day, and all that is left really on our agenda for the rest of the day is the kids will play. If I need help with anything, they will help, of course, but really they did enough work today. They're just gonna play. I'm gonna work on getting a little bit of laundry put away and doing a little bit of cleanup in here. There's just some sorting of things that I've been meaning to get to, and now that baby Firefly is not on me, I'm gonna get to that. And then we'll have dinner later on, and then end the day with family read aloud in bed. And for that, we will be reading The Green Ember. This is a book that we started right before the summer started. So we had started this, did not get too far into it, and then summer came, baby came, all of those things, and we just kind of forgot about it for a couple months. So here it is, back, and we're gonna just restart the book completely tonight, and this will be our book. So we'll just do a chapter of this every night as our family read aloud before bed. It kind of helps calm everybody down, sets a nice tone to our evening, and gets us in a nice routine. So that is that. That was our first day of school. I think it went really well. I'm super stoked, and I'm ready for tomorrow. All right, so with that, we will call this video a close. I do hope that you enjoyed. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed. I would absolutely love to see you here again. And please hit that like button, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Helps my channel out a lot and lets me know what kinds of videos you guys like to see. All right, and with that, we're done. Thank you all so much again. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload. However, baby fire, oh my goodness. All right, and now back to me. All my kids are now waking up and I clearly cannot get myself together this morning. Okay, so, and now back to me.